Hey, there's a podcast here.
Ooh, turn it on. Let's see what's on it.
Welcome to Bruce on the Loose, Episode 2. I'm Dino Lorenzo.
And I'm Abby Fagan.
Who we refer to as Abby Normal.
Yeah.
So we left off last time, senior year, at the Wiley E. Groves High School. Now, the boys were owning their senior year, but now high school is over. So it's 1976, and Bruce takes an apprenticeship at the Cherry County Playhouse in Traverse City, Michigan. I understand it was rough going. These were the lean times for Bruce. I mean, he was living in a boarding house, surviving on fast food, but it did have a few perks. The first of which is he was there with Chris Lemmon, son of legendary actor Jack Lemmon. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I know who Jack Lemmon is. The Odd Couple, right?
Okay, great. Just checking. Now, Doug McClure. Do you know who Doug McClure is?
Only from an interview with Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Okay, so Doug McClure was a pretty big wig back in the day. Did tons of movies. And so he is appearing in a play at the Cherry County Playhouse. And backstage one day, he actually needed a pen. Now, his big thing was writing his script, writing his lines all around the stage. He would write them on napkins, on props, on cups, wherever he could. So if he was ever struggling for a line, he would just go ahead and find it and recite it from there. And Bruce ended up picking that up.
For one thing.
In that very same interview, I believe.
Yeah, it was for one. What movie was it? Oh, it was for a TV show, and he was trying to. They kept changing the name of the bank that he was supposed to be at.
Right, that was Homicide: Life on the Street was the name of the show. I remember it was a 2-part episode. My father used to love the show, and he calls me in, "Hey Dino, huh? That guy you like's on TV." So I came in. It was a 2-parter, very good, excellent role. Pretty different turn for Bruce to do something like that at the time. So he picked that up. So one day backstage, I guess his pen had run out of ink because he's writing his lines all over the stage, and he asked, "Does anybody have a pen?" And of course Bruce said, "Yes, I have a pen," and of course had to borrow a pen from somebody. He didn't even have a pen. He just wanted to brush up with a celebrity. So that was one of the run-ins that he had that summer. And then the next one was with Tom Smothers. Now, do you know who Tom Smothers was?
No, that name does not ring a bell.
He was on TV. They had a big TV show, the Smothers Brothers. They were a comedy group. Tom Smothers was the silly one. His brother was kind of the straight man. I don't even remember his brother's name. But they were the Smothers Brothers, and it was pretty silly comedy back in the day. So Tom Smothers shows up, and he's doing a show at the Cherry County Playhouse, and somehow he gets invited to go hang out with the guys. So he goes back, and he watches some of the Super 8 films with Bruce, Sam, and Scott, and by all accounts, he thought they were hilarious. He laughed his ass off. I've heard in other interviews that there may have been some marijuana involved, which of course would make those films a lot better. I don't smoke marijuana anymore. Bruce is a big advocate for the legalization of marijuana. So Tom Smothers laughs his ass off, and later on, Bruce says that they actually received a check for $500 for the advancement of the Super 8 film career, which was nice. He sent them a couple of bucks, you know what I mean? Because he liked them so much. Now, Bruce later bumped into both of them, Doug McClure and Tom Smothers, and neither of them had any recollection of any of these events. It was the 70s, of course.
Yeah.
So,
nobody remembers the 70s. They didn't remember
any of it.
I don't remember the 70s.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Well, you weren't there, I was. But I did a lot of acid in the 60s, so that helps me to forget. I was born in 72, by the way.
Right,
anyway.
I know.
So that was the 70s. That was 1976, the summer after high school. So after that, of course, Bruce kind of enrolls into college haphazardly. I think he called his cousin and he told her, just enroll me in a bunch of film stuff. He didn't really even know. Sam at this time, of course, had gone to MSU, Michigan State. Bruce, of course, went to Western Michigan U. Now, he kind of gets lumped up in that thing of, when they tell the story now, it's always like, and then they all went off to college. But Bruce his college career was 6 months, I believe. And I mean, it consisted mainly of enduring crazy roommates and getting hit on by a guy. So.
Cute.
Yeah. And a lot of these stories can be found in the book If Chins Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor by Bruce Campbell. Amazing book. I mean, if you want to know the real story about some of this, we're kind of glossing over just some things, but he really goes into detail on a lot of this stuff. So the guy hits on him, and he kind of understood the guy's plea. The guy said something like, I just don't want to be alone. So that resonated with him, but he just wasn't that hip at the time to even experiment or do anything like that by his own definition. That was his college career. So basically taking all those film courses, he says that, after working at the Cherry County Playhouse and meeting celebrities and working with them, it was kind of a step backward to go to school and kind of learn it that way.
I find it more easy to do hands-on than to be instructed. Does that
Absolutely.
make sense?
I mean, some people learn different ways, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be told how to technically do something the technical way, but I find that hands-on is way more fun and way more easy.
Right. And I mean, I'm just much the same way. I mean, if you tell me how to do something and I take notes, it's probably going to be done badly a few times. But if you kind of show as we go, I mean, I'm going to get a better grip of it. So I completely understand, why he did that. So he left school. He quit school, 6 months. So what does he do? His father had introduced him to a guy named Vern, who was an ad executive who made commercials. So Bruce, gets a job with Vern. And, of course, Bruce and the guys show him the Super 8 films. They take these Super 8 films with them wherever they go, obviously. Mm-hmm. They're very proud of them. I can't wait to see them when they come out later this year. So Vern enjoys the movies, but he has a few tips. He starts giving them notes on camera techniques, screen direction, editing, the process of film directing. Now, Bruce soaks it all in, and he says, to this day, that's probably the best professional advice that he's ever received came from Vern during this time. Now, Vern's big thing was he wanted to make a movie. He had this pet project, a passion project that he wanted to make called The Magic Balloon. So they were in the middle of filming it. There was a huge mishap. The balloon went, got the rope snapped and the balloon, got stuck in trees and it was crazy. And, it was a horrible mishap. So The Magic Balloon is over. Vern was directing it. Bruce finds himself out of a job after this point. So what does he do? He pretty much takes up anything he can get. So now he's doing things that I would love to see Bruce doing. He's a busboy, a stock boy. For a year
cab
he
driver.
drove a cab. Right, exactly. He drove a cab for Southfield Cab, Detroit cab company for a year, driving prostitutes around. And they, of course, offer their wares for a free ride. But, of course, Bruce's job was to get them to pay. So he didn't take them up on any of their advances. Can you imagine having Bruce as your cab driver?
That'd be amazing. Maybe. I don't know. I've never ridden in a cab before, so I don't know the cab thing.
You've never taken a cab before?
Mm-mm.
Oh my Lord! Wow! You're a spoiled one, aren't you, Abby?
Yeah, it's called Chevrolegs. I got 2 of them.
So you could walk around up there. See, again, where I'm from, things are pretty far. So if you wanted to go far, your legs ain't going to do it. You're going to need to jump on a bus. And there's one that comes by every 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Now, as Bruce is struggling in his taxi cab driver capacity, Sam, like I said, was at MSU. And who does he meet at MSU? Very important person in his life.
Mr. Rob Tapert.
And Sam get together. And Sam kind of brings him into the gang. And they start working on their very first project together. Do you remember the name of that movie?
The Happy Valley Kid?
Absolutely. Happy Valley Kid. Now, from what I understand, Ivan was supposed to be the star of the Happy Valley Kid. But something happened with his schedule. He couldn't do it. So since they were about to do it, they had no other choice. So Sam asked Rob, can you be the star of this film? Rob was he was in it already. He was going to be the roommate in the movie. But as the story goes, Rob took the lead. Now, the Happy Valley Kid is about an abused college student who just can't take the abuse anymore. So he dresses up as a cowboy, guns down a few people, and generally wreaks havoc.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is one movie that I've only seen, honestly, maybe 2 or 3 very brief clips of. It's something that I've always wanted to see. Rob Tapert is so young looking in this thing. He doesn't even look like himself to me, you know what I mean? And I've seen him throughout the years. I've been following these guys 30 plus years. He looks so different. But I've only seen 1 or 2 things. One of the clips that I've seen has like him in a movie theater or an auditorium of some sort, and Sam Raimi sitting behind him as like a tough guy chewing gum and acting all cool, and then eventually punches him in the back of the head, bullying him. So it looks hilarious. I'd love to see it.
Sounds dramatic.
It does, right? Rob does the part as Rip Tapert. That's how he wanted to be credited. Not as Rob Tapert, as Rip.
Rip Tapert?
Yeah, Rip Tapert. And it's so funny. If you Google that, it'll pull up Happy Valley Kid all over the place.
Yeah, it was huge.
Actively involved. The film?
Yeah, at their college, they did screenings, didn't they?
Right. And I mean, this makes a big noise on campus. First of all, because it's on the MSU campus, and they actually, out of their own pockets, of course, how they funded every film, they put out $700 to film this, and they rake in $5,600. Now, in 76 or 77, it could have been. This is a big return. I mean, you put out 700, you pretty much make back, $5,000, So that's huge. So it starts to go through their heads. Wait a minute, this is good. We put out $700, we make $5,600. Maybe we can start doing something in this realm. So this prompts them to write a bigger movie with bigger suspense and bigger stunts, and it's called It's Murder.
Yeah.
Now, you've heard about this debacle, have you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's legend also because they make this big movie. They run huge ads for it all over. They rent huge halls because of, Happy Valley Kid was so big. Yeah. They said, this is going to be even better. It's a financial disaster, okay? Hardly anyone comes to see it. They're playing it to, almost fully empty halls. I think at one showing, there was one guy who showed up and he walked out maybe 10, 15 minutes into it. And Sam had to make the decision. Do I just let it play? Do I let it play in case other people show up, or should I just rewind it and leave? And I believe that he rewound it and left.
That's crazy.
And that must be a big blow because, Sam, I think he's a genius and I love all his stuff. I've never seen It's Murder either, unfortunately. And so that kind of dashes some of their hopes, I'm sure. So basically our 3 main guys, Sam, Rob, Bruce, they start to have these long and serious conversations on the theme of, can we actually make a real world movie? There was one strong scene in It's Murder. Have you heard about that?
No. I'm sure I have back in the long, long ago, but it's not coming to me.
Right. Well, basically what it was there's a scene in a car where there's a girl in a car and a guy jumps out of the back seat and frightens her. And that was like the biggest audience reaction that they got for the few people that showed up for It's Murder. So it's a cheap jump scare. But it was really effective. Everybody that was there jumped, and it seemed to be like the biggest part of the movie, Mm-hmm. And Sam realized this. So he said, okay, he wrote another film called Clockwork. Now, this was an exercise in creepy terror where Scott Spiegel torments Cheryl Guttridge, who was an early actress that worked with them in a couple of their Super 8 films and early films. Now, this is an important film because it's where they actually start turning their eye towards the horror genre.
Right.
Now, they noticed the biggest reaction we got wasn't laughs, it was the terror in that one scene. So Clockwork is good, and basically they start to see that the horror genre is something, it's a viable option. It's something that they can put into, and in the 70s, splatter, horror, all these cheap horror movies were coming out. They were playing the drive-in theaters. So that's what these guys did. They started attending cheesy horror films at drive-in theaters and doing research. Have you heard this in interviews too?
Yeah, this sounds really familiar.
Yeah, they start saying that, they go to all these cheesy horror movies and they start really taking notes, paying attention. If the action on screen starts to slow down, they would, the audience would put their headlights on, they would flash their high beams, they'd start hitting the horn, being really obnoxious. So they started to realize we can't let the movie slow down. Once the movie starts, you get up to a point and then you have to be relentless or you're going to lose the audience. they're not going to be engaged, they're not going to stay entertained, and they're going to start acting out, moving around, talking, and then your movie's done.
Right.
So that's pretty much one of the most important things that they realized.
It just makes sense. I mean...
Right. I mean, the pace of a horror film has to be quick, and the scares have to be terrifying to command audience attention. So
even today, it's the same way.
It is. Because you know what? I don't go to see horror movies anymore. First of all, because they call this PG-13 shit that they come out with horror, and it's not horror. You know what I mean? And again, it's all cheap jump scares. I mean, I don't mind a cheap jump scare here and there. You know what I mean? Somebody jumps out of a doorway. Oh my God. And, you know, it happens to be the family dog. Ooh, scary, you know? But it's better than those like Paranormal Activity movies. I don't even know which one they're on. 7, 8, Paranormal Activity 8 or whatever it is. But these movies are horrible. There's no scares in them. Oh my God, a door opened in the middle of the night by itself. This is horror. Let's make 10 more of these. It's just horrible to me. Do you go to see this crap?
I saw more Paranormal Activity, the first one, in theaters.
Right.
Because they did a good job with the trailer for it. It got me all excited.
Okay.
You know, it's going to be jump scares,
were you
jump
scared?
scares. No.
Yeah, it's crap. I mean, is it literally crap or not?
It's pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. The first one was okay. I mean, it was good for a ghost movie, but I'm so done with the shaky, handheld camera that's not like the Super 8s, not like Sam Raimi's shaky camera where there's actually purpose. It's actually just somebody with a camcorder running around. I mean, the Blair Witch Project, it blew us away with their shaky cam, and they're running through the woods, and their point of views, and their all that stuff. It's all giving me a headache. I can't. I can barely watch home movies. Now I have to watch a 2-hour-long home movie. Thanks, Cloverfield. Right.
Those found footage films kind of annoy me a little bit. You're right. That shaky cam shit, it gets old real quick.
It does, because it's constant. It's
so
constant.
I agree with you on that. And doesn't it throw kids into like convulsive fits? I mean, haven't kids been like, thrown into convulsive fits because of this or something?
Like epilepsy? Like the flashy light things?
Yes. Yeah, something like that.
I think they have.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that sometimes in the Spider-Man films that Sam Raimi did, like when Spider-Man was swinging around New York, people were reportedly feeling queasy and nauseous. And I don't get that because that never happens to me. But I mean, I guess I can understand it.
Right. So you're feeling the same. Yeah.
This is what happens to you when you're weak. Can't go see a movie without getting dizzy and nauseous. It's ridiculous. Now, if I go to a horror movie with a shaky cam and I get nauseous because of the shaky cam, that sucks. I want to get nauseous because of what's happening on screen, But that doesn't happen in PG-13.
Man, the PG-13.
Oh, is Patrick Wilson going to make it this time? Oh, boy. Anyway, so they've decided that they were going to make... I'm sorry. And this is nothing against Mr. Patrick Wilson, who I enjoy very much, sir. I think your movies are good. I enjoy you as an entertainer. But PG-13 for me just doesn't do it. I won't go see a movie PG-13. Even if it comes out, I don't like PG-13. I'm sorry. I want an R-rated movie. Not just an R. I want a hard R. So basically, getting back to the story here, and we're almost done with today's episode, the guys decide on making a test film of the type of movie that they actually wanted to make. They wanted to prove that they had the talent to deliver an actual horror movie to themselves and everybody else. And then, of course, the test film would allow them to coax potential investors into giving up some money so that they can finance this thing. This test film is one of the most important things in their early lives. And what is the film called?
Within the Woods.
And I like that, Within the Woods. No, it's not Into the Woods, the Disney thing or whatever with
the Broadway musical.
Yeah, it's not the Broadway musical Into the Woods. Although Evil Dead would become a musical, this is called Within the Woods. Now we're going to talk about Within the Woods 2 episodes from now. Yeah, next episode we have a real treat for you. We're going to have a remembrance episode. People who have met the King. People who have personal run-ins with Bruce Campbell and have good stories to tell. We have 2 or 3 really, really important and entertaining things that happened to some of his fans. And that's what we're going to be doing for episode 3. Before we close today's episode, we wanted to talk about some contests really quick. In the Bruce Campbell Fan Club Facebook group, I ran a contest last week, which was about this very thing. The Bruce Campbell moment. Have you met Bruce Campbell? If you have, tell us your story. If not, tell us what you would like to have happen when you meet him. And a bunch of people answered. And the prize on this contest, to the person with the best story, was a super groovy Wizard World exclusive lithograph of Ash from Army of Darkness. This was donated to us by a mysterious benefactor. I've never even seen this art before. Have you ever seen that before?
No, I was kind of blown away because I've never seen anything like it. It was pretty cool.
And I do daily searches for Bruce and Ash and Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, and I've never seen that. In fact, after I was shown the lithograph, I did a search specifically for it and still couldn't find it. So when I say exclusive, this is so exclusive that nobody has it. As far as I know, this is the only person that ever had it. And he donated it to us for the contest. So thank you very much, mysterious benefactor. Now, did you read any of these Bruce Campbell moments that people posted?
I read a few. I didn't.
Yep. And there was a bunch that were there. Some people gave some funny scenarios that they would hope would happen. There was a couple of people that had listed what happened at book signings and things like that. All the stories were great. I love this. I could read this stuff all day long. Because I love to see how it connects to the fan, because that's what this is all about. I'm a fan. You're a fan.
Right.
Don't you want to be a fan too, right?
Everybody should be a fan.
Everybody should be a fan.
They should.
You know? So my favorite story and the winner of this contest goes to, drum roll, Cole Simon,
Woo!
Who has a great story to tell. Good job,
Yay!
Nicole. So you'll be getting that. Please PM me. All right. PM me. Send me your address, and I will make sure that you get the lithograph of Ash. But basically, the story is this. She's in an airport, getting ready to travel, obviously. Otherwise, she's just hanging out in airports. And she sees Bruce Campbell. So she kind of eyes him up, and she says, oh my God, that's Bruce Campbell. I love this guy. So, he ducks here, he ducks there. She follows him all around. She basically stalks him throughout the airport. And finally, this is her own words. She said she stalked him. Now, finally, she gets close to him and she says, this is it. I'm just going to go up to him. I'm going to say hello, tell him I'm a fan, and then, that's it. So she gets up, she gets in front of him, gets in ready to introduce herself, and it's not Bruce Campbell.
No.
It's just someone with a massive chin who looked like Bruce Campbell. And I'm sure he gave her a strange look. I mean, here's this woman that's come up to me. She's looking hopeful, and she sees him, and she says in her mind, it said, abort mission!
No.
Abort mission! This is not Bruce Campbell.
Sad, but it's so awesome and awesomely sad.
It's awesomely sad. I mean, you said it right there. So, Nicole, the lithograph is yours. Please get in touch with us, and we will get that out to you. Thank you so much. That's just a great
amazing.
Story. And a little creepy, which is good.
Good stalker status.
Totally fits. Absolutely. So be careful. I'm sure that wouldn't be the only person to stalk this man in the airport. I mean, I'm serious because I don't mean him. I'm talking about Bruce now. If you've seen his little documentary, Fanalysis, he talks about, living in airports. He says he's a gypsy because, especially when he's on the road, like the book tour that he's going to do this summer for his new book, Hail to the Chin, Further Confessions of a B-Movie Actor. This guy is going to do, I don't know how many towns in 3 months. I haven't done an actual count, but it's tons. I mean, But do you know what that is to do that? I mean, this guy's going to be on the road. He's living in hotel rooms. He's going to be living in the airport all summer for one reason only, to meet the fans, to sign his book, and to make sure everybody reads the book. So go out and get it. And it comes out soon. It comes out in August. Is it 8/15?
The 15th.
You can pre-order it online. Okay, 8/15/2017, Bruce Campbell's new book, Hail to the Chin. I love all his books. I think they're hilarious. So if you didn't know that he's doing a big appearance tour this summer, he is. So he's appearing all over the U.S. He's not coming to Florida this time. Last time he wrote his 2 books, he came to Florida. I was able to meet him both times. But this time, the closest he's getting to me personally is in Georgia at the Walker Stalker Con, the last weekend of October. And I sure as hell will be there. Nobody presses the flesh like this guy. I mean, and there are countless stories of how he will stay late to make sure everybody gets their book signed. Not many celebrities do that. Not many writers do that. Nobody does that. But Bruce does that because he knows how important he is to many of us, to all of us.
BruceCampbell.com has all the information right there for you.
Right. There you go. And that's just BruceCampbell.com. So make sure to go there, check it out. Now, what was this about the book plate? Did you receive a book plate this week?
Oh, yeah. I think it was the publisher. One day, Bruce Campbell posted on his Facebook page that he was giving away the plates. And so I just was like, whoa, yeah, I'll sign up for that. So I think it was the publisher actually gave away, I don't know how many. They're popping up all over the fan club, but I got one. I was scared that I wasn't gonna get one because I was seeing them all over the place and I wasn't getting mine yet. But when I got it in the mail, I was so excited. So yeah, because I pre-ordered from Amazon and had proof of purchase, they gave me a book plate or an autograph plate.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. I didn't get one. No, I didn't even know about it, to be honest with you. I've been so busy the past few months. But like I said, the last time, and I told you this story personally, the last time I went to meet Bruce, I had already bought the book because, I mean, as soon as they come out, I pre-order them, I read them, I love them. When I got to the venue with my book, they were like, you can't bring that in here. Bruce is only signing books that you purchase at this event.
Yes, that's
So I ended up running back to my car, throwing the book in the car, and then buying a second one, which I didn't mind at all. I mean, I'll support the guy to the end of my days. I'll buy as many books as he comes out with. So I bought a second one, and he did sign that one for me, which was awesome. So it wasn't really a big deal because it wasn't that much money. It's a great read. And then I happened to, take my original copy and, bless one of my friends with it who wanted to read it. So here you go. Here's a free book. What the hell, right?
Yeah,
that's what friends are for.
That's what I did with Make Love, too, is I went to a bookstore, had already purchased it from another bookstore. So I ended up having the paperback and the hardcover. And that's when I met him, was at that book signing for the re-release. So I know exactly how you feel because I already had a copy. And
it didn't bother you that you had to buy another one, right?
Not at all.
Deal. I mean,
I'd have two versions. It's whatever.
Yeah,
it's a good
book.
Right.
One you can, it's great beach reading. You can take the soft cover to the beach, whatever, And you can go lollygagging. All Bruce Campbell fans know what lollygagging is. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what lollygagging is, go check Bruce out on Twitter and you will quickly find out what lollygagging is. And we'll discuss it in an upcoming episode. Mm-hmm. Now that we gave the first prize away, we have the second prize, which is your Evil Dead wearable art.
Yes. All you had to do was like and review on any of our media outlets. And the winners are Amanda Vesquez, Michael P. Shipley, and Jared Fuller. Thank you. Go ahead and PM me. And congratulations. Yay.
Congratulations. Good. That's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Abby's wearable art pics, and you've given all three away. So you have an ash head, a evil ash head, and the Necronomicon. And they're so awesome. So that's good. So we have 4 prizes going out today. So it really pays to listen to the podcast. Now, we're available on iTunes. We are also on YouTube. We're easy to find. Bruce on the Loose, a Bruce Campbell fan podcast. Check us out, iTunes, YouTube, and everywhere all over the net. Now, the last contest is, we don't have a winner yet, but in the Bruce Campbell Fan Club Facebook group, there is a thread called the Ashy Slashy Puppet Contest. We're giving away the Ashy Slashy. It's still going on. The company NECA, who makes fabulous toys, they are coming out with an Ashy Slashy puppet from the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show, and the Bruce Campbell Fan Club Facebook group is giving away a free Ashy Slashy to the person who posts last in that thread. And it's been going on for 6 months. We had a little bit of a scare this week. We thought that the Ashy Slashy puppet was in the mail, but it wasn't.
That was a good one.
This is just one of my evil mastermind plots to keep everyone engaged. And believe me, thousands of posts within 24 hours.
Right? I was like, whoa, 30,000.
I love this thread.
That's insane.
It's just amazing. And I love it. And it's ongoing. And you know what? Even after the Ashy Slashy puppet contest ends, people are begging me not to end the thread or delete it because they've made friends in there. There have been relationships, romantic relationships started in the thread.
It's so cute.
Because they met in that thread. Isn't that amazing? I'm responsible for love, Abby.
Yeah, you're a little matchmaker.
This is just absolutely fabulous.
Bruce Campbell matchmaker.
Isn't that great? I'm having the time of my life.
Right?
It's so fun.
I've not had so much fun before. Ever. Seriously. No. I'm good.
Isn't that great? I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm having more fun than I've ever had online. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mr. Fish, for creating the Bruce Campbell Fan Club Facebook group. Now, before we go, the last few things that I want to say. If you like Evil Dead, and who doesn't like Evil Dead, there's a special website that I would love for you to check out. It's called thedeaditeslayer.com. Is an amazing place for Evil Dead fans to get their daily fix because she updates it constantly. It's just amazing. The other thing I wanted to mention is evildeadnews.com.
I follow them on Twitter.
Okay, so yeah, they have a Twitter, and they, I follow them too, and they follow us as well. But Evil Dead News is another place where if you need your Evil Dead fix, these guys are on top of it. Every single day they have some amazing story. And of course, you could always go to Etsy and check out the Dead Deer Productions. We have the Bruce on the Loose Facebook group. Again, lots of fun. We have many members there. Come on in, join up. And the last thing that I want to say is, of course, the GoFundMe for little Ashley Smith, the tough little baby, beautiful baby, born 3 months premature. They have a little GoFundMe for him, A Healthy Start for Ashley. Go check that out.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Bruce on the Loose for episode 2. And remember,
TCB, baby.